What's it all about? Just got word Collins wants to see me.
I don't know. He wants to see several of us about something.
In there.
Have you seen my boy, Joe?
Not lately, Hartley. You want him?
No, nothing in particular, but if you happen to run across him, tell him to stop in, will you?
Hello, Joe.
Oh, good morning, Miss Joan.
You're always in a hurry and never going anyplace. Hold up just a moment, Mr. Law.
Well, now that you've got me, I'll answer your question before you ask it. I ain't seen him.
Every time you see me, you think I'm looking for Clay Hartley. Well, I'm not. I'm looking for his father.
Oh. Well, you'll find him in his office.
Thank you, sir.
Give me 2 cards. Give me 1. It better be a good one.
I'll take one.
Howdy, boys. I suppose you've been wondering why I call this little gathering.
Well, you ain't been calling these meetings regular here lately, and naturally we're wondering.
We've been laying low long enough. Things have quieted down, and it's time we got into action.
Meaning what?
Come on, gather around. Now, the stage for Missionary Flats will be coming through the pass in about an hour. She happens to carry 30,000 in dust. Get it. You don't seem glad to get the news.
Collins, we're taking an awful chance, even with young Hartley with us. That ain't going to prevent his father, as sheriff, from getting every one of us if anything slips. You know that coach is well guarded.
Nothing is gonna slip. You heard my orders. Get started. You ain't worried about a few guards, are you?
I ain't even to have my neck stretched.
You're not going to tell me that you don't want to go on that little trip.
I'll tell you one thing, Collins. We're taking an awful chance.
You're taking a worse chance if you don't do as I tell you. You don't want me to hand your IOUs to the sheriff.
You wouldn't give them to my father.
Back out on me and see if I won't.
Will we wait for Clay?
No, he'll be alone.
Then you don't like me after all, Mr. Hartley?
Why, of course I do, Joan. It isn't your fault that your father runs the Golden Rule, a gambling house.
Mark Collins isn't my real father, Mr. Hartley. You know he's just my adopted father.
No. Don't cry. Come here. I sent for you because I want you to do something for me. Well, not exactly for me, but for Clay. I want you to keep him out of the Golden Rule. He's getting too friendly with some of that gang that hangs around there.
I have talked to him about that. Each time he promises he won't go back, but he does.
Well, just try once more, will you?
I've got something important to tell you, Hartley.
Just a minute, John. Get the boys together. Oh, John, when you see that boy of mine, use your influence. He's all I've got left in this world is that boy. You know, bad company's ruined lots of families. You know what I mean?
Yes, and if anything should happen to him, it would ruin a lot of our plans, too.
All ready, Hartley.
What are you doing in town?
I didn't have anything to do at the house, so I just came in.
Well, you can just go back.
I don't want you hanging around here.
What started Hartley and these men out?
I don't know. One of the deputies come in a hurry, and in 3 minutes, they're all on their way.
Better keep your eye open for trouble.
They're not close enough to identify, but it sure looks like the same gang that got us last time.
Our only chance is to make a run for it. I've got 30,000 under my feet here. Run for it! One man in town!
Well, what are you going to do about it, Hartley?
I'm gonna hang the first one of that gang I lay my hands on. Chuck. See if you can pick up Joe. He followed one of that gang. The rest of us will stay with the stage into town.
All right.
You do.
Well, what are you going to do about it? Take me in?
I don't know. I'm not thinking about you. I'm thinking of your father. Just how I'd feel if someone brought my son in.
It'll kill him. What do you say, Joe? Give me another chance.
If I do, will you go...
You don't mean Clay was in with those?
Get on your horse, Clay. We're riding to town.
What happened?
Somebody tip off the sheriff and we had to take it on the run.
All our men accounted for?
As near as I know.
What's on your mind, Sheriff? You look kind of mad about something.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking, Collins. I don't have to tell you. The stagecoach was nearly held up this afternoon, and one of my deputies was shot. And killed.
You mean I had something to do with it?
Maybe not you directly, but some of your men. And I'm telling you right here and now, if I get one of them right, he'll swing.
You're taking an awful lot on your shoulders. You never have liked me. You've tried to run me out of town a half a dozen times, but you're not going to get away with it. You've never been able to pin a crime on me yet.
No, not yet. But if I ever... Joe! What is this?
I think we'd better do our talking inside, Hartley.
That boy'll talk. If he does, we'll hang. Yeah. If we don't get him out of there quick. Come on inside.
Clay, I'm your father. And I'm also sheriff of this town. Lou Carter was killed this afternoon by someone that rode in that gang that you were with. Now, I'm not saying you did it, but you know what that means?
I'm sorry I did this to you, Dad.
You realize you'll have to stand trial, and if they find you guilty, what'll happen? Who'd ever think that Clay Hartley would have to lock up his own boy? That's all, Chet.
Come on, Clay.
Son. You can make it easier for yourself, son, and for me. If you'll tell me who sent you out to rob that stage this afternoon. Come on. Don't you realize that your shielding this gang isn't going to help you? Why, they're laughing at us right now. Because I've got my own son behind the bars.
I can't talk yet.
They say young Hartley was in on the holdup this afternoon.
Ain't a holdup the guy in parts is killing the blue Carter.
No matter what it is, they'll try him quick.
Kind of tough on old man Hartley, him being sheriff.
It sure is.
Let me talk to him, please.
Just a moment, Joy. Let me talk to you first. You think a lot of this boy of mine, don't you?
More than I can tell you, Mr. Hartley. I don't care what they say. He didn't do it.
Well, no, I don't think he did either. But he was with those who did. You know, the law don't look at this like we do, Joanne. Now, if you can make him talk and tell who's the leader of that gang he was mixed up with, you'll be doing a lot towards saving him.
I'll try.
Come on, Joe.
Oh, Clay. After all your promises that you'd stay away from the golden rule, that you wouldn't go with that crowd anymore.
But, Joan, you don't really think I killed Lou Carter.
Maybe you didn't. But it's as your father says. You were with those who did.
But you believe in me, don't you? You know I didn't do it.
Why don't you tell me who did? If you do, I can go to my father and he'll help me get you out of this.
No, I couldn't do that.
Then you don't love me.
But that's just it. I do. That's why I can't tell you.
If I'd only stayed at the stagecoach with you, Hartley, instead of taking out after the kid when I saw him, he wouldn't be in this jam.
Oh, there's no need for regrets, Joe. You did what was right. You'll only talk to Joan now.
Do you think he will?
Being a Hartley, I don't think he will. Joanne, what did Clay say? Did he tell you anything?
John. Where have you been?
With Clay in the jail.
Did he talk to you? Tell you anything?
No. He says he'll talk when the time comes, and not before.
Oh, he will.
Dad, you'll do something for him, won't you? Help him out of this. You'll do that for me.
Sure. We'll see him through.
I wonder.
What? How much the girl knows?
No. How much her father knows.
I have given you every chance to clear yourself of at least part of the blame, but you have insisted upon remaining silent and shielding your accomplices. There is nothing more I can do. You have been found guilty of attempted highway robbery and the killing of Lou Carter. It is the verdict of this court that you be hanged, and according to our custom, the first sunrise after sentence has been passed will be the time of execution. I turn you over to the custody of the sheriff.
Kinda tough, Hartley. A man having to hang his own son.
I haven't hung him. Yet.
Dad, you're going to do something to get Clay out of this, aren't you?
Yeah. That's what I'm here for now. Where are the boys?
In the bunkhouse.
Hello, Collins. What's been keeping you?
Howdy, boys.
I'm looking for your father, Joanne. Where is he?
In the bunkhouse with the boys. He just said he was going to do something to get Clay out of the trouble he's in.
Uh-huh. I will see.
Now it's all understood and arranged. You men will get the guard and get Clay out. And then you know where to take him.
Then what do we do with him? We'll take care of that later.
Come on, get yourselves together, boys. We're heading for town.
Oh, we know.
Did you see my dad?
No, I changed my mind. You didn't see me just now. You understand?
No, Oh, yes.
Well, thanks, Joanne.
You stay here, and don't come into town.
The fellows you're shielding don't appreciate it, believe me. You're breaking your father's heart. Come, why don't you talk?
Give me a piece of paper and a pencil.
Now you're talking.
Tie one of my horses out back.
Well, you're not going to.
You've always trusted me, haven't you, Joe?
Yes, but...
Well, then do as I tell you. Clay, come in. Clay, I've never doubted you for a moment. But I have doubted your reasoning power in shielding someone else. Will you talk now?
Wouldn't do me any good now if I did, Dad.
But you will tell me before it's too late.
Yes.
All right. Come on. quick. Out that door. And head for the cabin we used to use on our hunting trips. And stay there.
Thanks, Dad.
If you're looking for my boy, Collins, he ain't there.
He let his boy go.
Hartley, what's the meaning of this? Where is the prisoner?
He broke jail an hour ago.
Don't lie, Joe. I turned Clay loose myself, so he'd get a square deal.
I always said that Hartley wasn't the man for this office. Now this proves it.
Hartley, you have broken your oath of office. I made you sheriff, and I relieve you of that responsibility right now. And I'll hold you under arrest until...
No one's going to hold me under arrest. As for that badge you just took away from me, why don't you give it to the fellow that's always wanted it? Collins.
Well, there's one thing sure, Hartley. If I'm appointed sheriff, I won't let a prisoner get away.
Stay where you are. First man that follows me gets it.
Never mind, boys. Collins, when I appointed Hartley sheriff of Elder, you were an applicant for that post. You still want it?
It's up to you, Judge.
Are you willing to uphold the law?
Yes.
Then I'll appoint you sheriff temporarily. Well, I can take your oath in my office.
Thanks, Judge.
I'm glad you came, Dad.
Thank you, son.
Why, you've lost your star.
Yeah. I lost it. I ain't sheriff no more, son. But I'm still your dad. So if there's anything on your mind, why don't you come through? Listen here. Is Collins the head of that wild bunch you've been riding with? Come on, sit down. Now, why didn't you tell me that before?
Well, I didn't want to hurt Joan. And you.
What do you mean?
Well, I was gambling. Collins got me in debt and loaned me money. He has all my IOUs. And then he kept threatening to tell you and said he was going to send Joan away so I couldn't see her.
I see.
Collins promised that if I'd ride along with him on that stagecoach job and act as lookout, he'd tear up my IOUs. But you came along and, well, you know the rest.
Were you in on any other job?
Oh, no. I wasn't with him when they robbed the bank.
So it was Collins.
What are you going to do, Dad?
I'm going after Collins. What became of the money they took from the bank?
It's in Collins' safe, the Golden Rule.
You stay here. Don't leave no matter what happens.
Have another one on me. Give me one. Coming in to give yourself up, Hartley?
Yeah. After I've had a talk with you, alone.
We'll do our talking out here.
We'll do our talking in private. It's just the same to you, Mr. Collins.
All right.
Boy, talk, Collins.
I don't believe it.
You don't? Open that safe. There's two things I want in there. Those IOUs my boy gave you, and that money you took from the Elder National Bank. And don't forget the combination.
I wonder what Collins is doing in there.
Keep your nose out of trouble and stay in here. All of you.
I'll pay you these when I get around to it. Now, what I want to know is what became of the bank loot you had in there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't? tried to get me, Collins, ever since I've been in office. You got that office, but you haven't got me yet. What have you got?
Why, a receipt for the strong boxes Collins sent out on stage a half an hour ago.
Here we are. Wait a minute. The first thing we do is get young Clay. I've got a hunch where he is.
We figured you'd need help, Hartley. When this is over, you'll be wearing the badge of office, and we'll all be with you.
Thanks, boys. But the first thing is to cut off that stage and recover the loot that Collins put on for Missionary Flat.
What's the idea, Hartley?
You got a strong box ship for Collins aboard, right?
Yeah, why?
I want it. Get it, Al.
You want the express box, too?
No. Sorry to trouble you, Bill. Keep moving.
You do.
Hide that box somewhere where we can find it when we need it.
Wagon track. Where do you suppose they're going to?
Somebody bringing supplies to the Hartley kid.
Ain't that too bad?
You shouldn't have come here, Joan.
Clay, you've got to get away.
Oh, I'm all right here. They'll never find me.
My father found out where you are. He and his men will be here any minute.
There they are.
Quick, take the rig.
you around back, will you?
Not there, Hartley.
Are you sure?
Yes. His horse is up the draw, all saddled, but no sign of Clay.
Look. Wagon tracks.
That's right. And they're going that way.
You don't think they got Clay?
You talked at the wrong time, Clay. Get a rope. Bring that rig over here by that tree.
No.
Look.
Don't, Dad. Don't, please.
If you've got anything to say, Hartley, this is your last chance to say it.
I've told my father all I have to say.
Here, tie it off.
Collins, you played your last hand, dealt yourself the joker. You're going back to Elder and face the people and tell them the truth.
I've played my last card, Hartley, but believe me, it's no joker. He ain't a bad kid. Give him a new deal.
I can't tell you how much it hurt me, Hartley, to take this badge off of you. But it was your own idea, And the scheme worked. I guess you know what to do with this.
Well, what about my boy, Judge?
He gets a new deal. And with the proper influence, I think he'll follow a straight road.
You heard what the judge said. Well, get going.